Alright, hello and welcome back to Let's Play yet another no-name MAME game. Today's no-name MAME game is, of course, Raiders5. Now, I'm sure you've probably been wondering your entire life, how did the craze of internet usernames with a username and then a number start? Well, Raiders5 offers an interesting explanation in that it was named after Raiders5. So, we're in a maze, an amazing game, I might say. First button is a shot, second button is not. Nope, just first button. Evidently we can blast through some things, I suppose. We can blast through these, but... okay. I'm pretty sure we can blast through those blocks too, but we can't really maneuver ourselves to do so. And... alright. We can accelerate by pressing the button we're going, and it's whatever direction you press is the direction you go in, which is about standard. Oh, okay. So crashing into things does not kill you. That's good to know. A little unsure as to what the point is, but overall, nice solid game. Now let's see how it really plays. Oh, timer. Okay, that's more like it. Now we've got enemies and... well, I mean, actually, if you think about it, it's playing a little bit similar to Bomberman, of all games. I mean, of all the games to be adapted into a... shoot 'em up? Maybe a maze 'em up? Oh, come on. Yeah, okay, so the enemies are invincible, those silly little buggers. Alright. Okay, that was impressive. I mean, I've seen a lot of game over screens in my time, but that was inarguably... wow, okay. Props to this game. That was like the most intense game over screen I've seen in... pretty much. Yeah. Oh wait. I've very clearly gotten to that P. And of course the game over screen is getting less and less intense as we see it more and more times. Yes. You end your one-player game by pressing the two-player start button. That's pretty clever. You also end your one-player game by randomly crashing into enemies. And then I'm just, well, okay, as before, the first power-up gives you a sort of shield, but then I'm not really sure what to do afterwards. Maybe if we get both power-ups, then... no, we're just... okay. Man, that was pretty much the best thing about games back in the day. It's like you'd start playing it, and it's like some games just weren't intuitive. You had no idea what the heck the game was about. Maybe we're supposed to break all the blocks, but that seems more than a little insane. Why would you have a maze game where the point was to break all the blocks? I can't believe that. Maybe you're supposed to just kill all of the flashing shiny blocks. Well, okay, I know that wasn't very clear, but you see how some blocks... yeah, the ones that give you like a little 500 bonus. Ah, okay, so you kill some and then new ones show up. And then we still don't know what's going on. Now, what makes things, like, even harder is that you can't, like, turn on a dime, sort of. Like, you can turn on a dime, but you can't, destroy things that are, just away. You've gotta have, like, a space to shoot it. It's not very clear, is it? But anyway, suffice to say, it's surprisingly hard to destroy these walls, so... and then you've got the omnipresent enemies just wandering around. Not necessarily making things, like, too hard, but just a little more annoying. Huh. I still haven't 100% figured out what to do, but I'm guessing, yeah, destroying all the flashing ones is a good way to start out. That'll be a real trick, though, hitting that one. What's he doing there? And also, too, of course, is the more you destroy in the maze, well, that answers some of those questions. The more you destroy, the more you open up to the enemies, so you gotta be careful. Okay, that's what it is. I mean, if you run into something, yeah, you can turn around at whatever direction you want. So I run into this, so I can use the enemies to help me change my directions pretty quickly. But at the same time, I can't just do that all of the time. And as you'd expect, the enemies get in the way after a while. Plus, too, you've got the kind of ship control where it's like that ship, it will not stay still. He's gonna keep moving, so yeah, one of those games where it's like everything's working against you. I mean, yeah, you've got enemies, all games have enemies, but this game, you've also got controls that are just fighting against you with their life. And then you've got the enemies which respawn, and then the enemies, when you hit them, then they get in your way again. So, man, if you've ever been nostalgic for that old school feel where it's like everything was trying to make life miserable for you, you might definitely appreciate this game. Hey, that's what I like to see, a clear objective. Yeah, well, evidently you just have to go around causing enough mayhem and then you unlock the exit. No miss shooting bonus. Seriously, you want me to go through an entire level without missing? I think you've got, oh gosh, those enemies. And of course, first thing he does is go right in and like lock me into the, oh my gosh. Hopefully you at least get a continue at the stage. Ay. Well, we get to test the backspace, which there is none. There is none. I was about to say, I mean, the name entry screen is pretty nice, but no, it gets you still. Everything in this game is going against you. Hey, well, okay, at least it lets you continue from where you were. But dang. Well, I mean, it's an easier game once you get the hang of it, and you spend a couple minutes, and you're like, oh, well, that's how it's played. But by the same token, I mean, it's still a very difficult game. Even the peas don't help you so much. Can't even help you turn on a dime. That's the power-up I really need. Yeah, it's kind of like in Pac-Man, where it's like Pac-Man would be twice as easy if you could just frigging stop. Actually, I wonder... Well, okay, of course this game comes after Pac-Man, but I wonder how far after. How am I supposed to get that? I guess this was back in one of those... This is back in the days where it's like, yeah, you had puzzle games, and this was like sort of before you had like Action Match 2 puzzle games. Like puzzle games like this where you have to like really kind of think about what's your best move, and you have to do it on the go. I guess technically I should be using the enemies more to my benefit, but that's a lot easier said than done. It's mind-bending. Oh, well. And then sometimes stuff like that happens, and it's like, yeah, okay, that was my fault. I think you've won this time, game. But that was, like, a pretty cool, actually. I mean, in thinking about it, I don't think I've ever really played a game like this. I mean, yeah, you've got, like, Pac-Man, obviously, but Pac-Man, the objective is completely different. This game, you've got that sort of, like, puzzle aspect to, like, make things a lot more harder. And it's not so much that it's hard, it's that it's, like, not straightforward. It's kind of like Lode Runner, where it's, like, your entire mechanic is counterintuitive. And the game does evidently seem to be called Raiders5. I wonder if that's an allusion to 1985, but Raiders5. I don't think any other video game has had like a name with like a number so tightly integrated to the rest of the title. So I guess Raiders5 is really a pioneer on multiple accounts. Well, on that note, this cat's got a scat.